Guess what? It's time for Making Kayfabe with your hosts, Bryce and Dylan.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another fantastic episode of Making Kayfabe. We've started off Season 5 with a bang. We had Viscera last week, who many would argue, some would definitely argue, is one of the greatest men to never win the big one, the big heavyweight championship. I know for a fact somebody on this very show would argue that. And conversely, I'm going to be rebooking somebody who I would argue is one of the best to never win the big one as well, Owen Hart. So, you know, there's a big conversation for you guys. We'll put that a poll up on the Twitter. I imagine Owen Hart versus Viscera. Who's better? Who's a better wrestler, Owen Hart or Viscera? There's no way to know for sure. You know, they're both wonderful, and we've both rebooked them. Viscera last week and now Owen Hart this week. Can you imagine a better start to Season 5 than that? I certainly can't. So before we get too far into the Owen Hart business, we're going to talk to the man who really did rebook Viscera last week. We're going to talk to Bryce. Bryce, how are you?
I'm really good. I think you know, to be completely impartial, I think if there's two guys you know, should have won the world title but didn't, I think Owen Hart and Viscera are those two guys.
Yeah, not William Regal.
No,
fuck him. But Viscera.
Yeah, Viscera. Yeah, exactly. Viscera first, then Owen Hart, surely.
Yes, I mean, they're both former kings of the ring.
That is true. That is true, yeah. And they're both exceptional technical wrestlers.
Yes, they both trained in the Stu Hart's dungeon. Calgary.
They're both Viscera's coming out dressed as like pink.
Well, I was going to say, they're both directly related to Bret Hart.
Yep.
Yes,
That's
sir.
Yep.
You know, but they're both former tag team champions.
They are both former hardcore. Was Owen Hart hardcore champion?
He was not. So
Viscera's got something Owen Hart doesn't then, right? So I mean that
is true.
Him...
I believe the hardcore championship was when did that come in? It must have been sometime in 1998.
99 maybe. Yeah.
I think it was 98, maybe the latter half of 98. But Owen Hart had some other stuff going on at that time, which we'll get into in the history, of course. But what do you think about our good friend Owen Hart, member of the Hart family, prestigious Hart family, alongside Bret Hart and Viscera, of course?
So I mean, this is from an era where I didn't watch a lot of wrestling. I'm not really I've watched some of the Attitude Era, but not a lot of the Attitude Era, which was kind of in beforehand, like 1994 when he was around. But, you know, since you said we're going to do this episode, I've been on a bit of a Owen Hart binge lately, and he's fucking incredible, man.
He's really fucking good.
We watched the British Bulldog Owen Hart match for the Kayfabe Marathon on our Patreon page, and that's what kind of set me off on this binge, because it just fucking blew me away how incredible that match was. How just I don't know if ahead of his time is the right phrase, but I mean you'd see that exact kind of match in AEW these days, right? You know, it's just that kind of that kind of wrestling, and then. Yeah, very fast paced, like lots of different moves, lots of cool reversals and all the rest, and like that got me to looking into other matches, and just I watched like some of his matches with Bret Hart, and I even watched a match with him and fucking Jeff Hardy before Hardy Boys, like in 1995 or something, which was really cool. That was pretty badass as well, and just insanely talented. Just I don't know what else to say. Just a very, very talented guy, and it's really cool that he's kind of back in the news again with his AEW making the Owen Hart Invitational Tournament kind of thing, which would be really, really cool to see. I can't wait to see that. It's not aired as of us recording this episode, but it can't be too far away. But I mean, what's your thoughts on that? Like the actual, who do you think should win the Owen Hart Invitational Tournament?
Ooh, well, now you see that's tricky.
Well, hold on. So Viscera can't. So
that's not the kind of attitude I want to have on this show, my friend. If Viscera wants to, he can do it. If he really wanted to come back from the dead and win the Owen Hart Invitational Cup, then by golly, he could do it. You know, First of all, I do think it's really cool that AEW are doing that. I think it's a really nice tribute to Owen Hart, and it's the kind of thing that it keeps his memory alive. Like you said, you were kind of unfamiliar with Owen Hart till I showed you that match, and then you're like, "Fuck, I gotta check this guy out." And if this tournament can make other people go, I gotta check this Owen Hart guy out, and then they see stuff like that Bulldog match and the matches with Bret and all the other great matches he's had, then it's a win-win. It keeps his memory alive. I think I mean, really, a guy like Bryan Danielson, I think,
Yeah.
is very Owen Hartish in that, you know, he's a little smaller in stature than some of the other people, but he's very quick and he's very good at what he does, like deceptively good. A lot of people, I think, would say Bryan Danielson's a bit more like Bret Hart in that he's more technical. But I think, I mean, that's how good Danielson is. That he's as good as both the Harts, really. But I would see a guy like that is probably, or what? Like I'm kind of unfamiliar with a lot of the newer guys that have been brought into AEW, but I imagine there's probably somebody like one of the younger, newer guys could probably.
I mean, I would probably think Jungle Boy. He's probably
Jungle Boy
the
could
man
be,
for it. He's very similar kind of style of wrestler, right?
Jungle Boy's a good shout. I think there is a guy with a good upside. Like, you know, if they keep the pressure on a guy like that, he could be a great star. That's a good idea.
But yeah, it's really cool to see him back in the news again. He's going to be in the AEW video game and all the rest. And just there's probably a lot of people, maybe my age, who hadn't checked out pre 2002, 2003 wrestling, who should totally go back and watch Owen Hart, because it's like going into a time machine. Like, he'd be so perfect in, like, you know, in the indies today or AEW today. You know, he'd fit right in, kind of thing. It's and he'd be a major player, and it's obviously a shame what happened to him. Obviously, I think everyone knows that, but yeah, just what a wrestler, what a talented guy, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where you take him today.
Well, speaking of some of the comments you made there, were some of our fans, at least, our listeners might not be too familiar with pre-2000 wrestling. We had put out a tweet asking people to talk to us about Owen Hart, because he's one of those guys that have people have requested before on the show. They wanted to hear what we can do with Owen Hart, and we were happy to oblige. Like, you know, I've been thinking about doing this one for a couple of seasons
Long
now.
time, yeah.
Yes, probably since season 3, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So we put out a tweet asking people to tell us about Owen Hart and all their thoughts about Owen Hart. And funny enough, like, we didn't get as many replies as we thought we might, and that's possibly because people who listen to the show might not be as familiar with Owen Hart as I am, for example. They might be more your kind of speed, where they know of Owen Hart but have never really went back and watched some of his stuff.
They know of Owen Hart, but they know more about Viscera.
Yes, because Viscera would have been more their time. You know,
exactly. Big Daddy V, exactly.
We got plenty of time to see those big old titties. You know what I mean? We got a lot of Viscera tits. Well, yes. So speaking of people's opinions on Owen Hart, our listeners' opinions on Owen Hart, why don't we see what the listeners have to say? Okay. So on Twitter, we have a couple of Twitter messages about Owen Hart. Let's read some of them. Gamebreaker Studios at RealGB Studios says he should have been WF champion. And I think that is an opinion shared by pretty much everybody who's aware of Owen Hart. Yeah. You know, we all agree.
I think. Do you think he would have been? Do you think he would have been? Do you think that would have happened in the WWF after what happened to Bret Hart?
Realistically, no. I don't. And you know, Owen Hart was a good safe hand to have around.
Sure.
And they kind of used him as that, but I feel like going into 1998, they made it pretty clear that they were making a shift between the older generation and the newer generation, which is why a lot of those guys left, not just Bret, but, you know, you look at, you know, Hall and Nash and all of those other guys.
Sure.
A lot of those guys left because the WWE were trying to focus on a newer, younger set of talent, and the older guys didn't really get a hold. Like, you know, you look at 1998, it's all Triple H and The Rock and Steve Austin. And a guy like Owen Hart, who had been in the WWE or WWF since like 1990 or whatever, isn't gonna do too well. He's gonna be one of those guys that kind of like props up a division, but might not be the big time anymore. And we'll cover that a little bit later.
Yeah,
you know?
I think you look at the gimmick at the time of his passing. You know, it maybe wasn't destined for greatness at that point, right?
Well, again, we'll touch on that in the history.
Okay.
There's a little bit more to the Blue Blazer than you might remember.
All right, okay.
Well, really, you don't remember any of it.
I don't remember it. It's what of the research I've done, you know, like. But I mean, yeah, I'm interested to hear more.
Well, also we got David Gray on Twitter at GunnerDave83. He says he absolutely adores Owen. Should have had a run with a big one at some point, either in '94 or post Montreal. He saved the tag team division in '96 with the Bulldog. He was wasted in the 327th incarnation of the Nation of Domination.
Was that many?
Well, ish. They shuffled the roster, of the Nation of Domination around a little bit. So
Why was Owen Hart in the Nation of Domination?
They were about trying to get revenge with DX at the time.
Right.
That's basically the reason Owen Hart joined, was because in 1998, when he was part of the Nation, they were feuding with DX, and Owen Hart had a beef with DX, but he was all by himself, of course, so he joined with the Nation. This was in 1998. When the Nation started, they definitely did have those kind of undertones of being a kind of militant group, bringing race into it. That seemed to be what the issue was. But by 1998, they really kind of, they were like, that's a bit sticky situation. Maybe we don't want to go, because the WWE are historically not very good at handling any kind of political situation whatsoever.
No.
So I think they were like, let's kind of tone that down a little bit,
A wise move, probably, yeah.
Yeah, and then we got Owen Hart. So that's why a lot of people will say, why was Owen Hart in this? I'm like, well, that's why, because they were trying to have it be less about race and things like that. Because really, wrestling's not the place for that shit, is it?
Exactly. Wrestling's meant to be fun and to take you away from the outside world, right?
Yeah. Exactly. It's just a bunch of boys touching each other. We don't need to bring race into this.
Exactly. Exactly how I describe it, yeah.
No need to overcome. That's how I describe it.
What are you watching on TV there?
Just a bunch of boys touching each other. And then later on I'm going to watch the rest. Oh, boy.
I think it's time for a catch-up.
Yes, let's do it. Let's hear some history of Owen Hart. So, let's hear a little bit of history of Owen Hart. He is, of course, the brother of Bret Hart and Viscera, of course, as we mentioned earlier in the introduction.
Of course, Viscera Hart, yes.
Yes, that part's definitely true, and don't look it up. Just take our word for it. Everything we say is all facts. So, what you're about to hear is all facts. So,
from this point on, yeah,
proves my point exactly.
Yeah.
So Owen began wrestling in 1983. He first appeared in the WWF in 1988 under a mask as the Blue Blazer. Because at the time, I think Bret and Jim Neidhart were a tag team in the WWF, and they put Owen Hart under a mask as the Blue Blazer to not make it clear that he was Owen Hart or that he was Bret Hart's brother.
Okay, so, that's something I already didn't know. So he was the Blue Blazer before in the inning.
Yes, it was a very old gimmick of Owen Hart's. Was the Blue Blazer.
Great.
So there you go. He left the WWF and traveled the world for a while before he returned to the WWF in 1991, this time without the mask and as clearly a member of the Hart family. He would team with Jim Neidhart to begin with. He won the King of the Ring in 1994. He was in a memorable tag team with Yokozuna for a while, and he feuded with an up-and-coming Steve Austin over the Intercontinental Championship, which he infamously broke Steve Austin's neck in a match at SummerSlam. Yeah. Owen gave Austin a pile driver, but he didn't tuck his head in enough, and it landed.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was the fact that fucking Owen landed on his ass for a fucking pile driver.
Well, it was it was a tombstone pile driver. Yeah, well, that's how some of them used to do that.
Yeah, but it's so unsafe though. I mean, you literally saw Austin's head like poking between.
You could see it. You can see it. Have you seen that match?
I've seen the match. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, it is rough to watch, isn't it?
Yeah. The finish is just insane, with Austin, clearly like fucking paralyzed or something.
He could barely. Yeah, but then again, like they improvise that, and you can see the smarts of the two of them. The way that they were able to figure out that.
Fair play to both of them. Like Owen Hart immediately sees something's wrong and starts playing to the crowd so Austin can recover. It's genius, but
so that Austin can like
scary.
grab him in the cradle.
It's schoolboy, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it is scary to watch. It's pretty rough.
Oh yeah.
So after that, he did some stuff with his brother as part of the Hart Foundation, where they were heels in America by 1997, which is a lot of fun. People always say, I think I've mentioned this before. People always talk about how bad Bret Hart was on the mic. Go watch Bret Hart on the mic in 1997 in WWF. It's wonderful. It really is. So that was part of the Hart Foundation with Bret Hart, British Bulldog, Brian Pillman, and Jim Neidhart. That was in 1997. So Also, in 1997, Bret Hart left the WWF for reasons that we don't even need to talk about. Everybody understands. Everybody knows that business. And the Bulldog and Neidhart left alongside Bret. And it seemed like Owen was going to follow, but he was locked in the contract. They wouldn't let him out of it. So that's fine. Owen was still in the WWF. And it seemed like things were going to go pretty well for him. He kind of came back with a bit of a antisocial attitude where he was referred to as the Black Heart. It seems pretty cool. And then, get this, this will surprise you. Things all kind of fell apart once he started to feud with DX. Oh. Triple H and Shawn Michaels, who historically, have always seemed to have a bit of an edge over the Harts. I want to tell you something that really happened. Okay. I want you to try and follow this. So get this, all right? In 1997, Shawn Michaels beat the British Bulldog for the European Championship. We saw the finals of the European Championship tournament we did a watch along on our Patreon page, patreon.com/Making Kayfabe. If you're interested. It's a lot of fun. And so Bulldog lost the European Championship to Shawn Michaels in September of 1997. So that means after the screw job, Shawn Michaels was both heavyweight and European champion. So Sergeant Slaughter, who was the commissioner at the time, demanded that Shawn Michaels defend his European Championship against Triple H because he thinks this will show DX. You have to fight your best friends. What do you think of that? That match happens on December 22nd in an episode of Raw. And all the way through the episode of Raw, they seem like they're teasing dissension between DX. But then, of course, the main event happens. And it's really a finger poke of doom situation where it seems like they're going to have a real match. And then Shawn Michaels just lies down. And Triple H...
Who was booking at the time?
Oh.
Was that Russo? It's got to be Russo, right?
I don't think he was. I don't know if he was fully booking that time. I think he was more in 1998.
Okay.
I think it would have been about a year later. Would have been full Russo. But this probably had a lot to do with Triple H and Shawn Michaels, I would imagine. So Triple H pins Shawn Michaels and wins the European Championship, and they think they've got one over Sergeant Slaughter as a way to make them as heels, but also was pretty stupid. But obviously, though, you could, we book this. We can always see like a good booking coming. There's only one Hart left in the WWF. That's Owen Hart. He's had friction between Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Shawn Michaels took the European Championship from Bulldog, Owen Hart's friend. There's an obvious feud here, right?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Well, you're in luck because the WWE had Owen and Triple H feud over the European Championship. What the hell? They did something right?
Yeah, okay, nice.
Well.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you were right to say uh-oh, my friend. So, January 22nd, Raw, Triple H is scheduled to defend his championship against Owen Hart. But Triple H doesn't want to work that night. So, Goldust is doing a gimmick where he comes out and pretends to be other people. It's a classic gimmick that we all love.
Classic gimmick that works every time for every person who's ever done
it's
it.
Never been a shitty gimmick.
Nope.
And he comes out dressed like Triple H.
Goldust does.
Yes.
Right.
So Owen Hart beats Goldust dressed like Triple H, and Sergeant Slaughter says, "Yeah, that counts." And Owen Hart wins the European Championship.
Fuck off! No way.
Yes.
That happens.
Yes, that would be pretty shitty if it ended there, wouldn't it? I wonder if they could make it worse. So that was in January, end of January. March 16th, on an episode of Raw, Owen Hart is injured. We're a couple of weeks away from WrestleMania, and they seem to be leading to a match between Triple H and Owen Hart at WrestleMania. But Owen Hart got injured, and he's sat out of commentary with his leg up because it's in a cast.
Did he get his leg kicked out of his leg?
Well. What happens is Triple H comes down out to the ring and says, "I want to challenge Owen Hart, the injured Owen Hart, for the European Championship," which makes sense. And Owen Hart
sounds like Triple H, yeah.
Yeah, and Owen Hart being a plucky babyface accepts, and even though he's injured, so they have a match. And of course, China interferes and hits an already injured Owen Hart with a baseball bat, which allows Triple H to win the championship back. Did he really need that part?
To hit him with a baseball bat as well.
Yeah. right? And then then a couple of weeks later at WrestleMania, March 29th, they have the match anyway between Owen and Triple H
All right.
for
His
the
legs
European
all better.
Championship. Yeah. So like, why couldn't they just, instead of switching the belt beforehand, why not just
Strange.
have the match when he's better?
Owen Hart didn't technically win the belt though, right?
That's true.
Oh, he
But-
did. Did he like? Is that an official reign?
Yes.
Fucking hell! What a
So-
fucking mess that.
Yes. So at WrestleMania, they have a rematch. Of course, Triple H wins. Of course, again with interference from China. So after that is when Owen Hart became a member of the Nation of Domination. That was in April, and they had a thing with DX. So that kind of explains that right there. That's all the explanation you need.
Yep.
He started to team up with Jeff Jarrett along around about this time at SummerSlam. They were teaming up. So the Nation of Domination kind of fizzled out by October, November of 1998. So Owen was able to focus more on his tag team with Jeff Jarrett. Around about that time, they did an angle where Owen Hart injured Dan Severn, and they played it up like Owen Hart was a dangerous guy because he'd hurt Austin the year before, and now he's hurt Dan Severn. So apparently Owen Hart quit the WWE, or they didn't want him there, so he, disappeared. And around about the same time, a new wrestler called the Blue Blazer appeared. Isn't that a mystery? I don't know why I said it like that.
Isn't that a mysterious?
Yes, it's not a mysterious mystery. So now we have the Blue Blazer. Owen Hart would return, but really just to make it clear that he wasn't the Blue Blazer. He was like, that's not me. They even did a bit where they were backstage and Owen Hart stood beside the Blue Blazer. And it definitely wasn't obviously Jeff Jarrett. No, sir. But also around about this time, Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart won the Tag Team Championships in January 1999. They held them until April, until they lost them to Kane and X-Pac for some reason. But they were still doing this Blue Blazer angle at the same time. And Owen Hart was scheduled to fight the Godfather at Over the Edge pay-per-view for the Intercontinental Championship as the Blue Blazer. When, unfortunately, whenever they were getting ready to lower Owen Hart to the ring, part of his harness malfunctioned, and he unfortunately, fell through the arena and passed away. It was a very, very sad occurrence that could have easily been avoidable, Yeah. But it's a very, very sad situation. But on the plus side, Owen Hart had plenty of success in the WWF. Like we said, he won the King of the Ring in 1994. He's a 4-time tag team champion, 2-time Intercontinental champion.
Wow.
1-time European champion, if you want to count that.
If it counts, yeah.
3-time Slammy Award winner, which he used to brag about all the time. And also, he broke Steve Austin's neck. So, there you go. Not a whole lot of people can brag about that. And like we said, it's very nice to see AEW doing their best to keep the good name of Owen Hart alive with the partnering with the Owen Hart Foundation and the Owen Hart Tournament. It's a very classy move on their part. I've had some things to say about AEW in the past, but I got to say that's a really nice thing. Yeah. And because I'm a big Owen Hart fan, and it's nice to see his memory still alive and well in 2021.
You see, Tony Khan, I think I remember reading this. He trademarked King of Hearts, I think it was, not for any official purposes. He just wanted to do it for a Christmas present for Owen Hart's widow, which is really cool.
Exactly, that's really nice.
Really nice, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of a history of Owen Hart. But wouldn't you like to hear what I have in store, the King of Hearts?
So, are you, just to get this straight, are you booking him kind of what would happen after if he didn't pass away, basically?
No, this is going to surprise you. Well, kind of, right? But what I'm going to do is, unsurprisingly, rebook that entire fucking European Championship mess.
Nice, yep.
So right after the screw job, basically.
Okay, cool. Nice one. So Bret Hart's just been screwed, left for WCW. Owen Hart's the only Hart left in WWF.
Yes, I mean you would think.
He's a member of the Lonesome Hearts Club.
There we go. How long have you been sitting on that one for?
At least 5 seconds.
That's a good one. That's really good.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that at all. Son of a bitch. Yes. So we're gonna do some rebooking of Owen Hart. You ready?
Brilliant. Yeah, let's go for it. Looking forward to this, man.
Let's do it. Let's get into this. there's a little part of this storyline that I think we need to address right off the bat. And it's never really been confirmed, but I believe that part of the reason Owen Hart didn't go any further than he did after 1997 wasn't just because of Triple H and Shawn Michaels holding him down, but also because Steve Austin didn't want to work with him. Now, if you think about 1998, that's the year of Steve Austin. He was the top dog. He was a heavyweight champion.
Makes sense.
I've heard him say that he didn't really want to work with Owen Hart too much after Owen Hart broke his fucking neck, right? Understandable.
Understandable, yeah. It'd probably be the same, yeah.
Exactly. Now, it was an accident, but at the same time, Austin was trepidatious about working with Owen. And, like we said, 1998 was Steve Austin's year. If you think of 1998, that's the year Steve Austin was hitting the big time. So how could they really do some kind of angle where Owen Hart would get to the main event in 1998 whenever the main event was just 100% dominated by Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? Yeah. So I think that if you look at he's fighting Undertaker and Kane and Mankind and The Rock. These are all guys that Austin trusted and could deal with. How are we going to fit Owen Hart into that? So that's something I wanted to keep in mind, and something that I don't think a lot of people think about.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
exactly, and
it makes sense now that you say it, but yeah,
exactly,
I had no idea. Yeah,
it's a little wrinkle like that, but also to me, it's a very important factor. So I'm gonna have to rebook Owen Hart with all that stuff in mind, and I think I can do it. So
I think you can.
Me too. So let's see how this goes. So I've already discussed the very strange way that Owen Hart won the European I say won.
Still baffled by that. Still baffled by that.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
That's WCW 2000. That's why I said Russo.
It's so strange.
Yeah.
Who ever would think that was a good idea? But we're gonna.
Bro. Dude, there's no way Russo had nothing to do with that. I mean, come on.
I don't know. I feel like that was maybe more Shawn Michaels and Triple H going, this will keep us looking strong. I'm like, because Triple H didn't lose the belt. He wasn't pinned.
Yeah. Okay.
So you know what I mean? That seems Well, anyway, we'll get to that soon. So we're December 1997 or January 1998, that kind of area. Bret Hart has departed the WWF for greener pastures, and by that I mean a big paycheck and a concussion.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what happened.
That's true.
I'm like, don't blame me. Blame Goldberg. So the Bulldog and Jim Neidhart have also left. Of course, Shawn Michaels is now the heavyweight and European champion. He's feeling pretty good. He single-handedly ran off the biggest thorn in his side and all of his associates as well, or mostly. It would seem like he runs the WWF at the moment. And he's got 2 championships to go along with it. Double gold, baby. But Sergeant Slaughter, the current WWF commissioner at the time, demands that Shawn defends his European championship. Now, Shawn Michaels wants to defend it against Triple H. That seems like that would be fun, wouldn't it? I wonder how... Because realistically, we've seen Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. That shit rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 2002. That shit was amazing.
The 3 stages of hell match, right?
Yeah, all that stuff. Remember the one they had at SummerSlam? Great shit.
Yeah,
Funny they'd done that stuff, but they didn't. Maybe they'll do it in this rebooking. Let's see. Cool. So Shawn Michaels wants to defend against Triple H. Triple H comes out to the ring, ready for this match because he knows how it's going to go down. So he's feeling pretty confident because Shawn Michaels is about to lie down for him. But on the way out to the ring, he's attacked by a man wearing a black mask. So Shawn Michaels, he tries to get out of the ring and jump over to his friend's aid, but it's too late. The man cripples Triple H with a lead pipe shot to the knee. He runs away, so Michaels can't get to him in time. Michaels demands to get to the bottom of this mess, but Sergeant Slaughter tells him, no, you got to defend that belt. Raw's almost over. You don't got time for you running away. You got to defend this championship, son. You have to defend your championship immediately. Unfortunately enough, Sergeant Slaughter has the perfect substitution for Triple H. We're not going down there. It's Viscera. And then Goldust comes down dressed as Viscera. But it still counts. We're not doing that. That was
still baffled. Still.
We're gonna ignore all that. So Owen Hart is the substitute.
Nice.
Owen Hart comes out. He's ready to roll. And Shawn Michaels is obviously in a really fucking bad mood now. He's worried about Triple H, more worried about Triple H than the European Championship. But, he's still Shawn Michaels. So they have a hell of a match because we're talking about Shawn Michaels and Owen Hart here, Great match. But Owen Hart manages to pin Shawn Michaels and win the European Championship. Possibly because Shawn Michaels was thinking about Triple H, But there we go. So Shawn Michaels is pretty pissed because, like you said, his head wasn't fully in the game. He's worried about Triple H. Surely this match doesn't count.
Yeah.
This match, this 20-minute gap, this doesn't count.
I like that.
But Shawn Michaels is even more incensed when, as Owen Hart walks up the ramp holding his new European Championship, he pulls a black mask out from under his tights and wheels him as Shawn. He's like, how about that, son of a bitch?
Nice.
So next week on Raw, we see a vignette, the pre-tape from Owen Hart. He talks about how he's always been a bit of a black sheep in the family. Even in the Hart family, he was the black sheep. So now he's a black Hart, Shawn, now he's got no other family at all. That's all been ran away. It's just him. Shawn Michaels did something that Owen never thought was possible. He drove Bret Hart out of the WWF. He drove a wedge between these two brothers, and that's unacceptable. It almost drove Owen mad, standing by and watching when Shawn Michaels and his clique were able to just run roughshod over the WWF and to see what they did to his brother and to the other members of the Hart Foundation. But that's all old news now, isn't it? Bret's gone. Bulldog's gone. Neidhart's gone. All that's left is Owen to pick up the scraps. He's the only one left. So Owen slips that little black mask on, the Black Heart mask. And he says not only has the Black Heart taken Shawn's European Championship, he's also crippled Shawn Michaels' best friend. Now, how does Shawn like it whenever somebody starts playing him at his game? That's what Shawn Michaels did to Bret, right? Took his championship.
Yeah.
And that's what he did to Owen. He ran his friends out of time. Well, that's what the Black Heart is going to do to Shawn Michaels. What do you think of that?
Ooh. Nice. I like this new character already, the Black Heart. That's really cool.
Yeah. So now we're going to have Owen as like a bit of an anti-hero. You know what I mean? But not quite like Steve Austin, because Steve Austin was like very anti-authority.
Sure.
He does whatever he wants. He doesn't.
He was still a hero. Like, he's doing what everyone else wanted to do, is what kick their boss's ass. So
that's it exactly. He's kicking his boss's ass, right? Because he had no qualms about authority and playing by the rules and stuff like that. That's the kind of thing he would do. But to me, I see Owen Hart more like Sting was in WCW, like a bit of a vigilante, a lone wolf kind of guy. Like a totally different kind of anti-hero. Somebody who doesn't really play by the rules, but in a different way. You know what I mean? So like he kind of, he swoops in and beats up Triple H and takes Shawn Michaels' championship, stuff like hit and run kind of attacks like that.
Yeah.
So now Shawn Michaels, he's got a lot of different stuff to worry about. Not only has he got Owen Hart to worry about, but at the Royal Rumble he has to fight the Undertaker. Steve Austin, of course, wins the Royal Rumble, means he gets a shot at WrestleMania. So Shawn Michaels has got other stuff on his plate. The Black Heart declares that he's not going to take part in the Royal Rumble because he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to get into Shawn Michaels' head like that. He can do it some other way.
Okay.
See that? So once Triple H returns from his injury, we can have Triple H and Owen Hart working a program for the European Championship for real this time.
Yeah.
An actual program instead of, I don't know, bullshit.
What's Goldust doing during all this?
Oh, probably smoking crack at the back.
Oh, jeez, yeah. That's a good chance.
That is probably what he was doing. Oh, poor Goldust. We're gonna have to rebook him at some point.
Dude, that'd be great. Like I've always wanted to do fucking Black Rain in TNA.
Yes,
that'd be incredible.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Or what was the one? Remember the one in WCW?
Oh, 7 was it? Yeah, with the white face. Yeah.
That fucking piece of shit. God damn, that was awful.
Though, he's killing in AEW right now. He's having good matches.
But here's the thing, he's great. I love Dustin Rhodes.
He's always been a great wrestler.
Exactly. Yeah. That guy can go. The only problem is for a lot of the time he's been stuck with these shitty gimmicks.
Yeah.
Goldust was a great gimmick, and he made that work.
I mean, yeah, shitty gimmicks, and he was always off his tits on drugs. But I mean, now he's not. Now he's clean. He's doing great.
We'll save this for the Goldust rebooking.
Yes.
Probably next season. So stick around for that, guy.
Damn right.
So Triple H obviously wants some revenge against the Black Heart, but the Black Heart starts to taunt Triple H over and over again. He's telling them that he did what he did to prove a point, and you'll figure out what that point is sooner than later. Triple H doesn't know what he's talking about, And the Blackheart elaborates. Shawn Michaels doesn't care about anybody but Shawn Michaels. And here's the proof. He's going to be on his way out too. Shawn Michaels worked his ass off to get his brother, Bret Hart, banned from the WWE, fired, kaput, out of here. But now he's done that. Now Shawn Michaels has done that. He's won the heavyweight champion. He's currently the heavyweight champion.
Yep.
What else does he need to do? He's won everything else. He's literally won everything else. Former tag team, European, Intercontinental champion. What else does Shawn Michaels have to do? He's achieved everything, especially the pinnacle, which was to prove he was better than Bret Hart. He's done everything. He's got nothing else to do. He's not going to stand side by side with you any longer, Triple H, because he doesn't need you anymore. He doesn't need the wrestling business anymore. He has nothing to prove other than getting revenge on me, the Blackheart. That's all he needs. And once that's done, what's left, right? So Shawn will happily see Triple H win the European Championship, not because he cares about Triple H, but just so he can see a little bit of revenge happen to Owen. Nothing to do with Triple H, you see. It's all about Shawn Michaels and his own pettiness. You're just a little pawn in Shawn Michaels' game. You always have been. That's why DX was a thing. You were his backup. You were the one that he was going to give the European Championship to. You know what I mean? It's all there. The belt that the Blackheart's wearing right now was just going to be gifted to you because Shawn Michaels doesn't care about it. He wasn't going to gift you the other championship, was he?
No.
Wasn't going to give you the heavyweight championship. Think about it. Who were the real players in the clique? Nash and Hall are out ruling the roost somewhere else, still giving Bret Hart grief because they're really bitter. Shawn Michaels has ruled this company for years. You were never a major player in their plans. You were just their driver, which is true. So Shawn Michaels, he tells Triple H, don't listen to that guy. It's all nonsense. But he also makes it very clear that he's got other stuff going on. Like we said, we're heading into WrestleMania right now. He's got Austin to worry about. He's got the shit kicked out of him by The Undertaker. Shawn doesn't really have time to babysit Triple H right now. He needs trips to do some of that heavy lifting himself. Shawn Michaels can't do everything. Plus, he's busy schmoozing with Mike Tyson, because that puts a little bit more of a spotlight on Shawn Michaels. You see what I mean? So Triple H can kind of see what the Blackheart's talking about, but he doesn't want to admit it. So he keeps a straight face, So we come WrestleMania. Main event, of course, is Shawn Michaels versus Steve Austin for the WWF Championship. And on the undercard, we have a match between Triple H and the Blackheart for the European Championship. So like I said, that match actually happened. But as we covered earlier, it didn't quite have the same kind of build to it that this match does. That match had a questionable build to it. And, Triple H was a champion in real life. But in this rebooking, the Blackheart, Owen Hart, is the champion. And he beats Triple H. He retains his championship. And, of course, in real life, and in this rebooking, Steve Austin beats Shawn Michaels in the main event and wins the championship. Now, is DX over? Is the era of DX over? Well, let's see. The next night on Raw, the Blackheart comes out to address Triple H. So Triple H wants the European Championship so bad. Come on, you can come out and have it. You can take it. The Blackheart of wrestling has accomplished whatever he set his mind to. He proved that he's better than Triple H. He's ran off Shawn Michaels. He did that to avenge his own brother. So Triple H wanted somebody to hand him the European Championship, right? That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted Shawn Michaels to do, wasn't it? Well, the Blackheart is doing it now. He's gonna gift it to Triple H without a fight. He's already proven that he could beat Triple H. So now he's got nothing else to prove. He's very happy to hand him the European Championship. So Triple H comes out and he's pretty pissed off. Shawn Michaels has made it clear that he's going to be taking some time off after WrestleMania. But the truth is, Triple H doesn't know if Shawn will ever be back again. And that's fine because Triple H, he's not about charity anymore. So the Blackheart says that it was him that drove Shawn Michaels out of the WWF. And Triple H says, well, that's pretty much nonsense, but that's fine because Triple H doesn't need Shawn Michaels anyway. Triple H and China are going to be doing just fine without him. So Triple H tells the Blackheart that he's not going to take that European Championship. He doesn't need charity. That's not the Triple H we've seen. Now we're seeing the Triple H from DX that we're familiar with. A little bit more ruthless, not just a lackey, a little bit more ruthless.
That doesn't take charity. This is the same Triple H who took the World Heavyweight Championship in 2002, right?
Yeah, but that was a different Triple H. We're talking about the DX Triple H right now.
Okay.
Not corporate Triple H or whatever the fuck he turned into. So what we're doing is we're setting up another match, of course, between the Blackheart and Triple H for the European Championship at the pay-per-view after WrestleMania, which is Unforgiven. So Triple H, being the slippery heel that he is, he doesn't come alone. He's got China by his side, of course, and he's got a returning X-Pac who has jumped ship from WCW back to WWF and is now part of DX. So at this pay-per-view, Triple H heals his way through the match the way a good heel does, and he manages to win the championship from Owen with the assistance of his associates, X-Pac and China. So this really sets up the reformation of this sets up the reformation of DX. Now you've got a reason for it, X-Pac and China helped Triple H win that championship back. And now we're going to add the New Age Outlaws into the group as well. DX is the way that most people would remember DX now. And now they have a purpose, and that purpose is to ruin Owen Hart's life, make him miserable, the way that Shawn Michaels did to Bret. So at the same time, of course, the Nation of Domination are, they're in town. The Rock is their leader. They're trying to make a name for themselves. And like we said, they're trying to move on from like the racial undertones of their gimmick and make it, more focused on The Rock and stuff like this. Now, The Rock is the Intercontinental Champion. Triple H obviously has his eyes on him. It's gang warfare in the WWF. We got DX, then the Nation. We've got all the other fucking ones. Remember the Disciples of Apocalypse, Las Barricas, the Truth Commission / the Oddities.
I was going to say the Oddities, yeah.
The Job Squad. Don't forget the Job Squad.
Oh, God, yeah.
Al Snow, Hardcore Holly, Blue Meanie.
The Brood.
Yeah. Oh, 98. Yeah, exactly. So a lot of factions in 1998 in WWF, and they were all great. Anyway.
Kinda.
Yes, they were around in 1998. A classic. We booked them. Remember?
We did. Yeah, Taka Michinoku. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. So we know a thing or two about booking stables, my friend. Fun fact: I actually did kind of want to go back and rebook that kind of gang warfare from 1998 because that seemed like a good idea, and then nothing happened. So maybe in the future we'll delve back into that.
In the future, so many like we're going to be going for years with all these rebookings, man.
Exactly. Just by talking about the history of WWF, we're like, God, they've dropped the ball on everything.
We're talking about fucking Gangrel last time. I'm pretty sure we need to rebook him at some point. Like, so many.
This shit writes itself,
Yeah.
So Owen Hart now finds his back up against the wall, but he's not afraid of anybody because he's like an anti-hero, and he's not really interested in joining the group just for the sake of joining the group. He's not going to join the Nation just to have some guys watching his back. He doesn't need that. He wants to defend his family's honor by himself. So he takes a bit of a vigilante stance, popping in and out whenever he needs to. He knows that if he's out there alone by himself all the time, he's easy pickings for all the factions to gang up on. So instead of that, he goes with the hit and run tactic we were talking earlier. So, for example, he runs in doing interference with a match between Triple H and D'Lo Brown for the European Championship, and he cost Triple H the championship.
Nice.
To get his revenge. So now Triple H is pissed because D'Lo Brown is part of the Nation of Domination. Triple H is angry about this, and he tells the other members of DX that they need to take out Owen Hart and bring him to him. But the problem with this is the other guys are kind of busy as well. So now X-Pac is chasing D'Lo Brown for the European Championship. New Age Outlaws are tied up in the tag team division. So Triple H decides to hire some outside help in order to take down Owen Hart. We have the Blackheart attempting a run-in during an episode of Raw in order to get a little bit more revenge on Triple H. But before he can do that, backstage, he's assaulted by Ken Shamrock. So Triple H has paid Ken Shamrock, the mixed martial artist, to be a bit of a hitman and to take down Owen for him while Triple H focuses on other matters such as the Intercontinental Championship. So now for a couple of weeks, we're going to have Ken Shamrock and the Blackheart jabbing away at each other, trying to take each other down, while Owen keeps trying to get into Triple H's business as well. Shamrock keeps trying to take him down and keep him away. The two men battle at a pay-per-view called Fully Loaded in July, with Shamrock picking up the win. And then they finish up their business at SummerSlam 1998, where the Blackheart gets a vengeance over Ken Shamrock and he pins him.
Was this in the fucking weird cage thing?
I think that one, I don't know if that was at SummerSlam 98, but they did do that.
I've
in real
got a
life.
feeling it was because I remember when I was researching the Steve Blackman episode. Obviously, they had the match and
They
stayed it as
did.
well, and
It's
like I'm
SummerSlam
fairly sure Owen
99.
Hart and Ken Shamrock was one part of it as well.
They
Was it
did.
1999?
Ken Shamrock and Steve Blackman was in 1999. The
Right,
Owen Hart
okay.
one was 1998, but I can't remember if that was at SummerSlam or if it was
Okay.
at Fully Loaded. But it was around that. In real life, it
Lions
was
Den,
around
right,
that
that was it.
time. Yes, it was the Lions Den. So you're right. That did happen in real life. Again, keeping it pretty realistic, right?
And who wins this one again? So it's Owen Hart beats Ken Shamrock, right?
Yes, Ken Shamrock
Okay.
wins the one at Fully Loaded, and then at SummerSlam, Owen Hart's gonna win.
Okay.
Okay. So, what else happened at SummerSlam 98? Well, The Rock defended and lost his Intercontinental Championship in a ladder match against Triple H. So, now the scene is set. Triple H has once again gained the championship. The Blackheart, Owen Hart, has once again set his sights on putting an end to that. But before Owen can get his revenge properly, Triple H is forced to vacate his Intercontinental Championship due to injury, which really did happen in real life. So a short tournament is set up to find a new champion. And wouldn't you know it, but the finals are going to be Ken Shamrock against Owen Hart. It's the third
Rubber match.
The rubber match.
Yeah.
Of course. See? Smarts. And we're going to have Owen Hart win. So Shamrock he's pissed off understandably about this, but he's also a fighter and he understands how things play out in the ring. So while he's annoyed that he lost the match, he's got to respect the fact that Owen Hart beat him. And he declares that he's not going to hunt him down backstage anymore. Their beef is through.
That's nice.
Isn't it? So now Triple H is injured and he's super fucking pissed off about this.
So Owen Hart's got his title now, yeah.
Yep, Owen Hart is now
again. He didn't lose.
Exactly. You see this? Triple H is so angry. Owen Hart's now Intercontinental Champion again, and it's only a matter of time before he goes even further. So we're gonna have him champion until the end of 1998, and he's looking pretty strong. And he, emerges from the shadows to defend his championship, and also the honor of the Hart family. He's fighting for the Harts. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna end things here, and I'll explain everything. A lot of people wanted us to have Owen Hart finally win the big one. And like I said to you earlier, I think that's going to be very hard to do in 1998 whenever Steve Austin kind of rules the roost, right? However, what we've done is we've taken a lot of stuff that happened in real life and we've actually made it make sense. The feud with Ken Shamrock and the feud with Triple H, we made that shit actually make sense. Owen Hart now looks like a legitimate contender. He's a upper mid-carder now. He looks like somebody. He's Intercontinental Champion again. He looks like somebody. And it means that come 1999, we can easily pivot him into more of a heavyweight championship angle if we need to. Because in 1999, of course, famously Triple H won his championship for the first time. Storyline's right there. The feud with Triple H and Owen Hart. Say Triple H finally beats Owen Hart for the championship. That puts Triple H over the top as a bona fide real main eventer.
Sure.
That's the kind of places you can go to. But you can only get to that point if you build up Owen Hart as a legit contender to begin with, which I think we've done in this rebooking. And it means that if the people want it, it's another of our rebookings. It's open to a second part.
Was literally going to say that. I would love to see the part 2 with Triple H returning and kind of confronting Owen Hart for the championship, which he didn't lose. Triple H didn't lose, but Owen Hart won. And I love how that plays into real life as well, because Owen Hart has Triple H's title, which Triple H didn't lose, just like real life, except no bullshit. An actual legitimate reason. It's not fucking Goldust in a fucking I don't know. I don't even want to see Goldust dressed as Triple H, to be honest. But
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. But just that makes so much sense.
Right.
And it's like a really good angle for Triple H's fucking arch nemesis to win his championship, and then he comes back. Maybe Triple H is now the babyface or something, and that would be really cool. And man, that's really good rebooking. Like I love it. I love it all. I love the Blackheart. That's a really cool name. I love how Owen's. So the whole thing was that Shawn was going to give the European title to Triple H, but then Owen won it, and now Owen's offering it to Triple H as like a. I don't know, almost like a fuck you, I suppose. Like, yeah. I've already beat you, so, you can have it if you want. This goal doesn't mean shit to me. I just wanted the victory. And I've driven your pal, Sean, off, Like I love that, just that kind of sticking it to Triple H kind of thing, and you didn't include the Nation of Domination, which I think a lot of our listeners will enjoy. You didn't make Owen Hart Owen part of the Nation of Domination. He's like a lone wolf. He does his own thing. He's like a vigilante, as you were saying, and yeah, like I just love that whole thing, man. The fucking the final of the Intercontinental title tournament made a lot of sense as well, because the rubber match, Ken beat Owen beat Ken, so
Yeah.
Makes sense for that to meet in the final of the tournament as a rubber match. So, dude, really, really good rebooking and a really good way to kick off your season 5, because that was fucking incredible.
But also, it kind of sets things up so that Owen Hart doesn't become the Blue Blazer.
Yeah, well, that as well. It sets so many things up, though. Not even just that, but it sets up, like we said, the program with Triple H, or Owen then transitioning into the main event scene, and Triple H maybe eventually meeting Owen there or something. So there's loads of places you can go from this. Like Owen maybe still got a beef with the rest of DX while Triple H is away. There's a lot of things you could do there. So there's a lot that can happen there, man. Like really, really good stuff.
That's the simple thing about like booking stuff, is that you have, like, we do this all the time. We're like coming out of the rebooking, there's options, but there should be, because you want to continue the storyline. You want to have people doing stuff.
Yeah.
If it's just a one and done thing, then nothing happens.
Dude, like it's so fucking like I read this the other day. It was about the whole the Fiend versus Randy Orton storyline, and like I think it was a WWE writer that admitted there was literally no direction for that. They did not have an end game. They were just fucking, let's see what happens next. Let's see what happens next, and then maybe we'll think of an ending. Like
you can tell
there's nowhere you can go from it. There's nowhere. Yeah, you can tell, because it's just fucking everywhere, and it just kind of ended with no real reason, kind of thing.
Well, that's what got me the most about that Fiend thing, was the end of it at WrestleMania, where Orton won, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Orton set this guy on fire, and the way that the babyface gets his revenge is that the other guy beats him again. Like, are you shitting me?
Not even like an RKO is more powerful than fire, though. That's
ridiculous.
RKO is more than burning somebody, yeah. But no, man, really good. I think that's maybe one of your best ones as well. So congrats, dude. That's awesome.
Well, you haven't heard me rebooking Viscera.
Oh yeah, well, next week.
You never will.
Unless we really run out of ideas in like season fucking 37 or something.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. But you say that, but there's so many times at WWE, like even through this rebooking, we've already come up with 3 future rebookings. So I don't think we're gonna run out anytime soon. But speaking of some insanity, speaking of some illogical bullshit, how about we move from how about that? That's a good one. We're gonna move from a good rebooking to some questionable rebooking, even better rebooking. Whenever Bryce takes on the Kayfabe Tombola challenge, how about that? You guys ready for this? Let's do some Kayfabe Tombola. Before we get to the Kayfabe Tombola, let's talk about the fact that we give away a lot of these rebookings for free on every podcast app you could ever want. But we do a lot of exclusive rebookings, and as mentioned before, we do some watch-alongs and other exclusive shows that are only on our Patreon page, patreon.com/Making Kayfabe. We've done all sorts of rebookings. We've done Akira Tozawa, Samoa Joe. We've done... Who else have we done? Vince
McMahon, ECW champion.
Oh, it's a classic one.
Mickey James.
Tajiri's the last one we did.
Billy Kay. Tajiri's the most recent one, yeah.
Yes.
Fucking abominable Strowman.
Classics. So a new rebooking goes up every single month on the first tier of our Patreon page. And then we also have our watch-alongs, and we do a bonus show, the Kayfabe Conundrum, where me and Bryce challenge each other to come up with some really wacky storylines and try to make them make sense. And that is difficult. We have had some crazy, crazy challenges over the years. If you like Braun Strowman...
That's Kayfabe Conundrum. I've got to book a gladiator in WWE, like the gladiator gimmick, which, I don't know, man. I've not thought of anything yet, and I know I've got to do it soon, and I'm panicking, but we need to make the gladiator gimmick work somehow. And how are we going to do it? You're only going to find out in Kayfabe Conundrum.
Exactly. You can hear right now Bryce a little apprehensive about it. How is he ever going to do it? How can he solve this mystery? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's by checking out our Patreon page, patreon.com/Making Kayfabe. Let's be honest, guys. We love bringing these podcasts to you free of charge. However, it really helps us out a lot to be able to host these shows and to get all these rebookings done. It takes a lot of work on our behalf to get all these up for you, and we love doing them, but it really, really helps us out to get a little bit of that change from the Patreon page. It really, you guys have no idea how much that really helps us out,
Keeps the lights on.
Exactly, and that helps us see.
Exactly.
Really helps.
We can't do these rebookings in the dark.
No, we tried. It was a mess. It just didn't work. So if you can, head on over to patreon.com/Making Kayfabe. If you're short of money this week or this month, and we get it, man, money's tough to get by, but even like a little retweet on your Twitter page or spreading the word, that stuff, that all helps us too. You have no idea. The kind of word of mouth stuff, that really, really does help. And there's a lot of rebookings, a lot of good stuff on there, a lot of original content that's up on there. If you're a fan of the show, we really appreciate you checking that out. So patreon.com/Making Kayfabe. Okay, so we're going to play a little game of Kayfabe Tombola. I'm sure everybody's very excited about this, especially Bryce, his favorite part of the show. I imagine everybody who's listening to season 5 of Making Kayfabe is very familiar with the Kayfabe Tombola, but we can do a little brief recap for anybody who might have missed. If this is your first episode that you're listening to, excellent choice, sir, may I say, or madam, you could be. You never know. But thank you very much for listening. We really appreciate that. So here's a little breakdown of Kayfabe Tombola, everybody's favorite game, especially Bryce's. What we're going to do, we've got, the listeners, our lovely, lovely listeners, will send us a little Kayfabe Tombola. If you want to do it too, feel free at Making Kayfabe on Twitter or makingkayfabe@gmail.com. You can send in your own Tombolas for future reference. But all you have to do is come up with 4 wrestlers and 4 scenarios. Bryce is going to pick a letter number combination where we put those 2 together. And then he's going to have 60 seconds to be able to tell me and all of you lovely listeners all about that wrestler and that funny scenario. Couldn't be simpler, Easy stuff. So we have a Tombola ready and waiting to go. This has been sent in by Andy McCune on Twitter, long-time listener from the show. Really appreciate that guy. How you doing, son? And yes,
I love Andy, but I know where this Tombola is going on.
I was just about to say, if you're familiar with Andy McCune and his past Tombolas, you probably already know what you have in store. Yes, sir. But he might surprise you. You never know. So I'm going to ask Bryce to give me a letter number combination and see what we get.
All right, give me number 2 and give me the letter D.
2D.
Because I'm thinking C. If I picked C, surely C stands for crap hands. So I'm going for D, which is not crap hands.
2D. Sure. That's the Gorillas pick.
2D. Gorillas, yeah. So, yeah. Good reference. Yeah.
Thank you. I love Gorillas. You love Gorillas too.
I like Gorillas, yeah.
Yeah. So let me tell you about the wrestlers that you could have picked.
Okay.
You didn't pick. So you didn't pick Johnny Ace, who I think we talked about before.
People power.
I have a feeling, given Bryce's amazing Johnny Ace impression, that he might end up popping up a lot. He might end up popping up a lot these days. So you see what you've done by being really good at impressions. This is all on you.
I'm not good at Johnny Ace at all.
You're really good. You're way better than I am.
I can say that one phrase. That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's all you need, So you didn't pick Johnny Ace. You didn't pick Doink the Clown.
Oh, okay.
No Doink.
Get
out of here, Doink. I don't want this Doink. You didn't pick Wade Barrett.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are wildly different kind of wrestlers, yeah.
Right. I was going to say, I'm like, that's, well, if you think that's wildly different, check out who you did pick. Got the Undertaker.
Oh, okay, nice.
A much bigger name than all 3 of those other guys.
Put together, yeah.
Yeah. But what's he going to be doing, though? What wacky scenario will he have to pick?
I mean, I don't know, but I sure hope it's not crab hands.
What did you say? You didn't pick C because C, there's crabs in the sea?
Well, C, crab hands begins with C, so that would be my logical thing. Let's not pick C because there's C in crab hands, so, I don't know.
Okay, well, just bear that in mind while I tell you what you didn't get in
I fucking picked
scenarios.
crab pants, haven't I?
You don't know that. So you didn't pick that he changes his name to Mr. Jobby and starts a stable called the Jobbies. I'll be honest with you, dude. That's the one I wanted you to pick.
Jobby squad.
The Jobby squad. I was like telekinesis. I was willing you to pick that one. Like, please get the Jobby one. But nope. You didn't get that he grows a mustache.
Is that it?
Yeah.
1 minute on Undertaker growing a mustache.
And you didn't get.
Do you remember just before you said it, do you remember the promo from NXT? It's a game show.
Yes.
And it's big fucking Eli Cottonwood talking about how he's got a mustache, but he also doesn't.
Yeah.
And his mustache is the best mustache out of anyone. And he's going on for like a good fucking 2 minutes. I would just do that basically.
Do that whole promo.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. That would work. Can you imagine the Undertaker, like, who never fucking talks, and then suddenly he's just talking about his mustache?
Can't shut him up about his mustache.
He's like, rest in peace. But also, did you know? If you use mustache oil, it really helps it grow out. You know, you're like, what the fuck? But you didn't get that, and you didn't get option C, which was he loses his left boot. Again, that one just ends there. I gotta say, Andy McEwen, you are really good at these. Those ones are the ones I love the most, where they're really like super open ended. They're just like a one thing happens. And you're like, how do I stretch this to a fucking minute? I love that shit. So keep that up.
I am a bit scared here because I have the
process of elimination, Bryce.
The keen-eared listener would notice that none of these picks involve crab hands. So,
Bryce, you are gonna have 60 seconds to tell me and the world about the Undertaker as he fights Sid the Crab Hand Man at WrestleMania Night 2.
Okay.
Not night 1.
Specifically has to be a night 2, yeah?
It's the second night because you want a big main event.
Of course, yeah, this is the main event. Okay, that makes sense.
Sid the Crab Hand Man.
So I think in a previous Tombola, Sid Vicious became Crab Hand Man, right? Is that right? Yeah,
I believe
like season
so.
3 or something, right? If I remember right. So that makes sense. So it's a continuation of Sid the Crab, who is Sid Vicious, the Crab Hand Man. Yeah.
We're gonna keep this classic bit going.
Yeah.
Sid the Crab Hand Man. So it couldn't be simpler, could it? I can't think of a way that this could possibly be simpler. Undertaker fights Sid the Crab Hand Man at WrestleMania 2. He's got to tell me and the people all about that.
Hold on, WrestleMania 2 or WrestleMania
Night 2.
Right, so not WrestleMania 2, yeah.
Well, maybe if WrestleMania... Well, Undertaker wasn't around at WrestleMania 2.
True.
Sid might have been. No, I think he was a little later than that.
Did they have crab hands?
Of course. Sid the Crab Man.
Sid the Crab Man, yeah.
Okay, what do you think, Bryce? Do you want me to press play? What do you think?
Let's just fucking...
Do we just go?
I've got a vague direction for this written down, just as we were talking about the Crab Hand Man there. So let's see where these 3 bullet points get me.
I think they'll take you right to the top.
I think so, yeah.
I'm going to count you down from 3, and then you're going to tell the entire world all about the time The Undertaker fought Sid the Crab Hand Man at WrestleMania Night 2. You ready?
No.
That's the spirit. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Grab those hands.
All right, so General Manager Teddy Long says, hey, Undertaker, you've beaten every human wrestler on Earth. Like, genuinely, I don't think there's a single human wrestler on this planet who you haven't defeated. And some of the guys say that you've got this impressive WrestleMania run going, I guess, or streak, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. So here's what we're going to do. So on night 1 of WrestleMania, that's night 1 of WrestleMania. I can't stress that enough. We're going to have a battle royale. For what reason? I don't know. Don't worry about it. But anyway, it's the battle royale is for the chance to face the first ever crab human hybrid wrestler at WrestleMania Night 2. So anyway, Undertaker's like, cool, rest in peace, bro, because Teddy Long is going to go for a nice lie down, so Undertaker wants him to rest peacefully, But anyway, in the Battle Royale, Undertaker wins. The final 2 men are Undertaker and Viscera, and they have just an epic 20-minute brawl before Taker eliminates Viscera by just like fucking kicking him in the dick, poking his eyes, blowing mist in his face, and basically every underhanded trick in the book, because Undertaker is underhanded. But we haven't even got to night 2 yet, so.
Well, that's it. I mean,
we've not got to night 2 yet. We can't end it there.
Keep going.
It's Undertaker versus Sid, and Sid Sid Crabby Hands, was it?
Sid Crab Hands Man.
Sid Crab Hands Man. At night 2, Undertaker faces Sid, the Crab Hands boy, and you know the spot where Undertaker goes for the choke slam, but then like his opponent also grabs Undertaker's throat, so it's like a double choke slam kind of deal. So they're kind of like they're both grabbing each other by the throat. Undertaker tries this, and Sid grabs the Undertaker's throat with his giant claw crab hand and chokes him out, and just ends the Undertaker streak, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay. You would have the Undertaker lose his streak.
Yeah.
To Sid the Crab Hands Man.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. He's got crab hands.
Yeah. Fucking he'd end anyone's streak.
Exactly. Who could possibly beat the Crab Hands Man?
I forgot his name. I forgot his name halfway through. I'm like, Sid what? Fucking Super Saturday?
Super Bowl Saturday? Oh, that's my favorite part.
Can't even afford to pay me.
Your t-shirts are too tight, Billy.
T-shirts are too tight too, Billy. I'm pissed now.
Oh boy, why does that not turn up? Nobody ever talks about that one on the tombolas. Well, on our Patreon page, of course, me and Bryce make our own tombolas, so maybe
Lex Luger's T-shirt is too tight.
If that isn't enough reason to want to subscribe to the Patreon page, I don't know what is. But there you go. Thank you very much, Andy, for that lovely rebooking that Bryce had to struggle through. We really appreciate it, man. And like we said, if you want to send your own rebookings in, all you got to do is send us 4 wrestlers and 4 wacky scenarios. If all you want to write is he grows a mustache, fair enough. You work away. Send them to makingkayfabe@gmail.com or DM us on Twitter at Making Kayfabe. Couldn't be easier, could it? No.
Oh, you want an answer? Sorry, no, it couldn't. No.
You don't have to. You don't have to. I could do.
I wasn't sure if that was rhetorical or not.
I could do the whole show myself if you want. Don't worry about it. But there you go. What a wonderful tombola that was.
Yeah, thanks, Andy.
Thank you very much.
Right, thanks to the crab hands again, Andy.
Yes. We look forward to your next crab hands rebooking. Should be any time now. Thank you very much.
No, seriously, cheers, mate. Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. So there we go, my friends. We have a wonderful rebooking of Owen Hart right there, and also a surprising rebooking of The Undertaker, losing the streak.
To Sid the Crabman.
Yeah, I mean,
Crabby
people were pissed that he lost to Brock Lesnar, but let's be honest here. Who's more of a tough guy, Brock Lesnar or Sid the Crab Hands Man? I think we all know the answer to that,
Brock Lesnar doesn't have crab hands.
No, and Undertaker really needed to give a guy like Sid the Crab Hands Man that kind of rub. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, it was his time. It was the right time.
Oh yeah, it was the only thing to do, really, at that particular juncture. So there we go. I feel like the Owen Hart rebooking might have got overshadowed somewhat by Sid the Crab Hands Man, but
we're gonna name this episode Undertaker versus Sid Crab Hands Man.
Yeah, and then like brackets.
That's the main rebooking, right?
Brackets, maybe Owen Hart too. Close brackets.
Yeah. ... Yeah.
But there you go. That's another rebooking in the bag. As you can see, me and Bryce have started off season 5 with a bang. I'm gonna ask my good friend Bryce, fresh off rebooking The Undertaker and Sid the Crab Hands Man, if he's got any teases for next week.
Ooh, so I do. I've definitely thought of a tease. I definitely have. I've definitely thought of something to say at the end of this episode. And
it's Sid.
They may or may not have crab hands. It's more modern day. It's more modern day, the next one. And it's going to be, a character that's got a bit of a supernatural kind of gimmick, I suppose. And we'll leave it there. We'll just leave it there.
Exactly. We want to have a little bit of mystery. So if you guys want to find out what that is, you got to stay tuned. Make sure you stick around for next Tuesday to your favorite podcast app. You can find us on YouTube as well, Making Kayfabe. And you got to follow the Twitter page as well, because that's where you're going to find all the news and information about next week's rebooking. It's going to be amazing, so you want to check that out. And we're going to say thank you very much for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. You guys are the best. And if you thought these first 2 episodes were good, you ain't seen nothing yet, man. Season 5 is going to roll on with a bang. We got so many good stuff for you coming up for you guys.
Yeah.
You have no idea. So make sure you stick around. Stay tuned to find out. Plus, more crab hand shenanigans, probably. More Johnny Ace impressions.
Yeah.
There'll be more Vince Russo bros all over the place. Everything you guys love, you're gonna see it in season 5. Trust me. More visceral love. I don't know how we can give any more visceral love than we already have, but you'll see.
I thought the joke was over when we finally done the episode, but no, it's still going.
He's never gonna die.
He's still a meme, yeah.
We're gonna keep him going forever and ever. We love visceral, and by we I mean you.
You just humor me, yeah.
Yeah, but make sure to stick around for next week for Bryce's super surprising rebooking. You're gonna find out what that is next week. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna say thank you very much for listening, guys. We really appreciate you guys. We love you, and we will see you in the next episode. And so goodbye.
Take it easy.